Rated M for mature.
You call that a lot of zombies? This is a lot of zombies. Oh god. You know, here at Rebellion, we sometimes ask ourselves if we actually have enough zombies for our zombie apocalypse. Oh, sure, the loyal, rotting forces of Hitler's army are legion, no question there, but could we perhaps have even more to conquer all of Europe, and then one day, the world with? And that's where Nightmare Mode comes in, because you know what they say, the bigger the crowd of man-eating zombies, the bigger the egos of anyone who manages to survive them. Plato, right? In any event, here is our selection of some of the toughest, the most challenging, the most nail-bitingly difficult moments from the campaign in Nightmare Mode. Be on your toes and watch out because things are about to get cramped. You know what's rubbish about commuting? Crowds. And you know what's even worse than crowds on a commute? Zombie crowds. And what's even worse than that? How about a flaming zombie train that crashes into your base to let said crowds loose on you and your friends? If you think I'm kidding, then think again, as Locomotive Madness in Dead Ahead will give you your first taste of what kind of challenge Nightmare Mode can offer. You'll quickly become inundated with zombies as they shuffle their way up this walkway to try and take a swipe. And worse still is that zombies will fall into your base from above to try and outflank you if you're not careful. One advantage you can exploit, however, is the litany of grenades and mines at your disposal, as the base is well stocked, so deploy said items strategically before the cutscene activates. I'll never commute on a speeding, flaming zombie train the same way ever again. Ah, Venice, the city of love, the city of canals, the city of boats in said canals. Oh, and the city with the ultimate boat ride from hell. Sorry Victor, but in Nightmare Mode, your delightful tour of the zombified city ruins is truly nightmarish. That's because, unlike for the other entries in this list, this boat ride denies you a key survival ingredient: space. Things get hairy right from the beginning when the boat briefly stalls, thanks again Victor, and you have to survive wave after relentless wave of suiciders, snipers, and our favourite, the Butcher. It is agony trying to avoid enemy attacks in such a tight-fitting space, and unless you take the Butcher out, the boat will be stuck there in perpetuity. This might sound like a good opportunity to try and reach the fabled times 666 combo multiplier, but honestly, focus on eliminating any specials, then clear the skies of any snipers, and let our sluggish Victor deliver you to your final destination, which of course just leads to more zombies. When Henry Ford invented the conveyor belt 107 years ago, the world was changed anew, revolutionizing the way assembly lines were constructed forever. Now in 1940s Europe, you get to use another conveyor belt to deliver a giant bomb into a rocket that is then launched into the air to obliterate a giant zombie spawning hell tower, just as Ford predicted. And if that sounds like a piece of cake for you and your team, then perhaps I should also mention the giant, and we do mean giant, horde of zombies that come to stop you from ever being able to launch said rocket. This is where placing mines, laying tripwires, and using the high vantage point of the rocket tower become essential for survival. And to sweeten the deal, you can find weapon attachments, grenades aplenty, and special weapons dotted throughout the map, which you're going to need because that conveyor belt, well, let's just say it likes to take its time. You know, I quite like aquariums. They can be so serene, so peaceful, so full of majestic underwater beauty that nature has to offer. And then they can be this. Yes, that is a zombie shark, and yes, that is an Annabelle doll hiding in a fish tank. Deal with it, because unfortunately for you, you've got bigger fish to fry when trying to survive a horde at the start of Chapter 3 in Zombie Zoo. You'll notice an abundance of creepers suddenly deciding to say hello to you, quite forcefully as well, and if you're the heroic kind of player, which I'm sure everyone who subscribes to this channel is, then you've got some resistant survivors to look out for at the bottom of the stairs here. Utilize the space of the aquarium to your advantage, but try not to move too far away from your NPC buddies because they're going to need your help pronto. Make good use of the flamethrower you can pick up before the horde swarm begins, and keep an eye out for that pesky shadow demon. That guy is always the worst. What's that? Wait, there's another hell tower to destroy. But I thought the giant rocket thing we launched in the previous Oh, it's the final hell tower you say. And it's right here in this lovely courtyard? Well, that's kind of handy. So you're telling me that I just need to gather some explosives, set the charge, and then just wait for the timer to run out? And hey presto, Hell Tower gone? Pfft, easy. Oh yeah, except for the endless waves of zombs attacking you from every direction imaginable, and then some. The final chapter of Molten Nightmare could be considered one of the most challenging gauntlets you'll have to traverse through. And by could be, we mean definitely. As the location opens up after surviving each wave, you'll need to stay on your feet and on your toes in order to survive. Stay far away from the center of the courtyard when you can, and use the length of the battlements here to concentrate your fire as you pick up each explosive charge. Make sure to take out the many snipers and zombie commanders by using the elevated positions the stairs provide, and try not to stick around once the escape route is ready. The floor, after all, is literally lava. If you've managed to make it to this point on Nightmare mode, then well done you. Seriously, well done. I don't know how you've managed it, quite frankly. You must be a slick, well-oiled machine, a remarkable piece of human engineering run on pure adrenaline, who now has to take on the much more insidious and, quite frankly, evil machinery of Hitler's war factory. In the War Machines chapter of Hellbase, you're treated to a series of blood seals and pressure valves that require your assiduous attention. And by attention, I mean slaughter and destruction. The real challenge here is avoiding every zombie possible when attempting to sabotage each valve, and naturally, the more you destroy, the more zombies want to become your bestest friend. Make sure you activate the industrial fan traps and rocket exhausts on the factory floor to ease your pathway to the next objective. Once you sabotage the final valve, things start to get, well, a bit explodey. A lot. So just like with the final Hell Tower, don't stick around and reach for that exit as quickly as possible. Who says heavy industry can't be fun? Honestly, were you expecting anything else? For our final entry in this list, we simply had to go with the final level. Why? I mean, come on, it's the final level. It's Hitler. It's giant zombie death tank thing with Hitler. It's smashing Hitler's face and sending him back to hell, but only if you manage to survive to the end. You see, here at Rebellion, we're always looking to ratchet up the challenge, and so this is why we decided to make completing the final chapter in Zombie Army 4's Nightmare mode absolutely impossible. Yes, impossible. I know, ludicrous you say, scandalous even. Well, you know what? Why don't you try and see for yourself? I'm just going to kick my feet up and take in that view, that magnificent view of hundreds of zombies, dozens of specials, explosions everywhere, and truly chaos unchained. Ah, glorious.
I will kill all the Hitlers!
Phew! Well, we survived some of the toughest moments imaginable in Zombie Army 4's Nightmare mode. I never would have guessed that there could be so many zombies in Europe. So many zombies. Have you dared to take on the nightmarish challenge upon completion of the main campaign? Which chapter do you think you could survive such overwhelming odds? Let us know, as always, in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all of the nightmare-fueled zombie content we make. Now, sweet dreams.